Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever planned a trip to somewhere you've never been to, unfamiliar with the customs, how to get around, what's it like over there in general? Of course, you try and overcome all of that by planning. You plan travel, how to get there, any other requirements, visas, whatnot. But through the course of planning, things come up, other concerns. Well, like, what's the exchange rate there? What's the currency like there? What's the food like? Well, the food, do I have specific dietary concerns and needs that they can cater to? What are the people like there? Any extra concerns ask for further and further planning. And each of these things kind of lead to like another hole. You're digging yourself deeper and deeper towards more and more planning, because you just want to make sure once you're there at your destination, everything is sorted out. You have no worries. But the bit of the sad reality is you end up doing so much planning. It takes so much time doing it. In the end, you kind of psych yourself out. You never end up taking the trip. I wouldn't say that's the exact definition of procrastiplanning, because procrastiplanning in itself is a pretty new concept, at least to me. I've never heard of the term until recently. But understanding the definition of it, I've been there. And I am willing to wager that a lot of us have been there too. Take, for example, this silly version of the video I'm doing now. I'm at Pantai Inta Kapuk, which is a fairly new area of development. Everything looks new, everything looks modern. I thought, seems like a nice place to bike in. Because I've been here a couple of times going around by car. And I've seen other people bike through here. In essence, and in planning, that should have been enough to get me out the door and all the way here. But I kept concerning myself with more and more worries and other things I want to make sure that I'm on top of. So it started with like really simple things, like just understanding the route, making sure there are bike lanes, which there are. The bigger hole I got stuck in was trying to find out if there's ample bike parking around here. And that took at least like an hour to try and figure out. And it really did get to the point where I'm like, I'll just scrap the idea. So I let that one inconvenience psych me out for making this whole trip. And to which, again, Once you realize that that is essentially procrastiplanning, you can learn to try and stop and let go of that concern. It's not just a matter of psyching yourself out. Procrastiplanning is also a matter of when you plan for things or overplan for things, sometimes it gives you the impression, it gives you the feeling that you've already accomplished something, when in reality it hasn't. You're just planning something you never actually really did the thing you set out to do. And that's kind of the misunderstanding with productivity these days. People tend to say, you are more productive as long as you've sufficiently planned out what you need to do. No one ever really talks about how you can get stuck in planning in itself. You concern yourself with so many things that execution, or the confidence to take on any kind of execution, comes farthest in your mind. I've been working and understanding this concept to try and let go of that notion. Because you can only plan so much. Because, like the key to really learning is by doing. And I like to think at this point, the best you can do is, yes, you can plan, you can anticipate certain pitfalls, you can plan as much as you can to try and mitigate it. There really has to be a certain kind of threshold that's going to make you go, okay, that's enough. Let's just go do this. So in the case of last night, once I spent enough time, a little too much time, trying to find bike parking options here and pick, and I thought, screw it. And here I am. And it's great. It's a really nice way to surprise yourself. And I'm not saying surprises are the goal here. Because again, you want to try and get yourself out of that planning hole and get to doing. So in a workplace scenario, you can plan out a campaign as much as you can, as much as you'd like. You really have to figure out what your threshold is here what is the acceptable amount that would A, satisfy you, and B, convince other stakeholders that this is the way to go. Sure, other stakeholders will have their concerns too. Through them, you might fall into another procrastiplanning hole collectively. There's really only so much you can do to assure them. I suppose one thing I didn't account for, while it's all nice and open roads here, I mean, not just bikers, not just bicycle riders have noticed that, but motorcycle riders too. So apologies for all the noise. Because we are reaching the end of the morning here, so traffic is starting to liven up here a bit. But again, in this case, my understanding is that the mic that I'm using has sufficient noise canceling, so this video should still turn out at least okay. Or at least until I review this later and see that the audio is useless and I'm gonna have to put subtitles. But at least I got it done. And I hope you understood the point that I was trying to make. Planning is great. Overplanning, procrastiplanning, benefits no one. Best way to learn, to understand, is by doing. So get out there.